Photography, no video recording. Remember to turn your cell phones to silent if you don't mind. If you have a question, raise your hand, get eye contact with me. We'll get a microphone to you. And remember to say your name and your media outlet before asking your question. So we'll go ahead and get some questions here in the second row. We'll start here.
Hey, Marcus. Siani Chambers said you guys go way back. I was just wondering if what you've seen on film, how has his game grown and how has he changed since when you first knew him?
Yeah, we used to play against each other in AAU and stuff all the way back to like 6th grade. And we pretty much played each other at least once every summer coming through. And we played against each other in camps and stuff. The main thing is he's become a lot better shooter, looking at his percentages and watching it on film. Hey, he's really comfortable shooting the three ball now, whereas back in the day he would just use his speed to drive by people. So he's still got that really good end-to-end speed with the ball, but his jump shot has really, really improved. And that's one thing we're going to try to take away.
Go here in the front row, please.
Brett Friedlander, Wilmington Star News. Marcus, how much is the emergence over the last few weeks of Joel Berry and Justin Jackson made things a little bit easier on you, and in what ways?
I think it's benefited our whole team and made it easier on our entire team just because we're getting more efficient production from guys that play a lot of minutes. Joel's minutes have gone up, and he's played a lot better recently, and Justin's production's gotten a lot better these past, 8 or so games. It's helped me because, they're both backcourt players, so it makes our backcourt more balanced and provides a tougher attack to defend against. But it benefits our whole team just because, they're producing and their rotation players playing well.
Quick follow-up with the mic. Thank you.
And then Brice, how much does, the more developed perimeter game make it a little bit, give you guys a little bit more room inside?
Well, for one,
You all right?
For one, it opens up the defense for us. I mean, teams usually try to go zone on us. When those guys are really knocking down outside shots, it really opens it up for the post players down low, and it gets the other teams out of the zone and go back to man-to-man, and we're really dominant when we can get it down low.
Here in the second row, yes, sir.
It's Don Coble with the Times-Union here in Jacksonville. For both of you, what will Carolina have to do to set the tempo tomorrow night? I mean, is it imperative that you try to play with a little more speed and a little quicker tempo?
Brice, if you'll start first, we'll go.
Yeah, because, that's just the way we're supposed to be playing. That's the way coaches have been emphasizing that we need to play the entire year. And, the past few games, that's the one thing we've been trying to do. So, that really would help us in the long run. So, we really do need to be able to start the game with a faster tempo than we usually do.
Yeah, we want to extend our defensive pressure. Harvard will run, but they run when they have the opportunity. We want to run every time. Even if we don't get a quick shot, just to run and put pressure and get the tempo to our liking. I think they're more comfortable in the high 50s, low 60s, but we want this game up more possessions so we have a chance to, get the ball inside and get our break going. So we're probably going to extend our defense, try to pressure them into some turnovers so we can start that break.
Back right of the room.
Marcus, back to Joel and Justin, especially this past week in Greensboro. Were you defended any differently when their shots were going down, especially the way they've been about the last 3 weeks?
I honestly don't think so. Yeah, I hadn't really thought of it, honestly. I'd have to go back and pay attention a little bit more to that. But I don't think I was defended any differently, but I think teams had to pay a lot more attention to them. So that, that may have changed as the focus for how they're going to guard us as a team. But individually, I don't think that changed anything for how I was defended.
Any other questions? Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you here in the front row again.
To both players, Coach Smith used to say that each tournament was its own separate entity and that you'd have to build your own momentum as you go along. So how do you guys take what you did last week with those 4 games up until the last 9 minutes against Notre Dame and kind of try to carry it over into this week?
Brice, go ahead.
Well, we had some positives throughout the entire week last week. So, those are just some of the things that we need to do that we should have been doing all year. The effort that we gave, the heart that we played with, the determination that we played with. It was all great to watch and it was great to be a part of. We just have to be able to take that and just add it to this game and the next game and the next game because, that's just the way we need to play the entire time.
Yeah, I agree. I think, we got to understand that what we did was pretty important for our team last week, but none of those games that we played last week help us win this game against Harvard. We don't get to start with any extra points or anything like that. So we need to generate momentum by learning how we played. Last week we played hard, we played smart, we played together. We did everything we needed to for a lot of those games. So we need to start with that same mindset, and then that'll help hopefully build momentum for this tournament.
On the right in the middle, and then we'll get to you next, sir.
Marcus, watching tape of Wesley Saunders this year, how do you feel like he compares to some of the better scoring guards you guys have seen this season?
Well, the coaching staff probably have a better answer for you than I will. But, in the limited time I've spent watching, him specifically, he's really just a versatile player and can get to anywhere and score anywhere on the floor. So he's a really tough matchup. I think JP will have his hands full, but he's accepting that challenge, and he's excited for that challenge to match up against him. He's had a chance to play against some really good wing guards all year, so hopefully that'll prepare him for this battle. I think he was first-team All-League in Harvard's league or Player of the Year or something, so obviously we're going to respect him and try to make everything tough for him.
On the aisle in the middle, the mic's coming your way.
Marcus, UNC is not known for your outside shooting. You guys have been pretty efficient the last couple months. Is it difficult at times when the shots are falling to kind of want to lean on that a little bit? Because you guys really haven't done that, it seems like.
Yeah, we're not a team that shoots a lot of threes or, does a lot of attacking from the perimeter. But, we can't fall in love with the jump shot if we make a couple early. We got to understand that our bread and butter is getting the ball inside, either throwing it in off an entry pass or driving the ball to the basket. Obviously, it's important to knock down some shots to keep some balance, but we got to know, especially myself as the point guard, that just because we hit a couple outside shots does not mean that we need to deviate from going inside early and often and trying to, dominate the paint, because I think that's been a better sign of success for us this year than hoping that we're going to make shots on a given day.
Back right again. If you could, sir, say your name and affiliation as well.
So for both you guys, do you happen to know where Andrew Jones started illustrated? It's not about me, it's about them. Do both of you guys happen to know where Harvard's coach played his college ball?
Is it Duke?
I'm pretty sure he's got connections to Duke,
Isn't it
right?
Duke?
Didn't he play?
Something like
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah, I know. Yes, Duke.
I think it was.
Yeah. Is that it? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we know. I don't think Duke's got a whole lot to do with what's going on with this game, but it's an interesting side note. Let's put it that way. I don't. Yeah, that's it.
Any other questions for these guys? Questions? Yeah, right here in front of you, on the right.
John McCann from the Herald Sun in Durham.
Thank you.
Harvard is going to come to the floor with senior leadership. They played that up in their press conference. You guys get it from your juniors. Is there that much difference in that 1 year of playing experience?
That's hard to say. I consider juniors and seniors upperclassmen, guys that have been through it. They've won their first-round tournament game a couple of years in a row. We have too. So, we're kind of in a similar boat there, that they're not going to come in scared to play. They're going to be ready to play, and we're not going to come in fearing them. It's not one of those things at all. So it'll be – both teams have enough experience to where it should be a highly contested game from the beginning. Both teams have gone on runs and played some battles, had some struggles throughout the year. So it'll be a game where leadership's important, but I think it kind of cancels each other out because both teams are so experienced.
Got time for a couple of more questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get your microphone. Everybody good? All right, guys, good luck. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll have the coach out here in just a few moments, right at 4 o'clock.